Carrie and Tommy love thinking outside the box, and so do our friends at Liberty. Liberty loans hit different. They're free thinking just like you. Find flexible loans at liberty.com.au. Eligibility criteria apply.
It's the one and only
Carrie Bickmore.
And Tommy Little. This is Carrie and Tommy.
Yes, welcome to it. A very relaxing show from paradise this
I love our
afternoon,
new
guys.
little intro.
We are live from Hayman Island, and isn't it just heaven on earth?
We
I'm
just saw
not going
dolphins
home.
before.
No, okay. I thought I saw two dolphins moving quickly in formation, and they were jet skis. They were a long way out to my to my defence.
We all ran to the window. Gary goes, dolphins, jet skis. But beautiful all the same.
Oh, we've had so much fun. We've been here for 24 hours. We've got lots to bring you from our time here
Yes.
already.
And as I said, we arrived in one piece, and it is heaven on earth. But, of course, we had to get here first, which is quite easy because they make it very easy for you. But because
I made it very difficult for myself.
Well, I don't know. There's no real link between the two things, but I was going through some news stories, and Trump has made the news because at the NATO summit in The Hague, he has had a go at Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. He said he's an average mentally person.
What does that even mean?
And then he
A
paused.
mentally something person?
An average mentally person, and then he paused and says, low IQ for what he does.
Wait, was this in like a tweet that he did? Or...
No.
Oh my goodness.
He said it at a press
He's
conference.
an average mentally. What is an average mentally person?
Well, I was going to ask you the same thing because as we were travelling here,
oh my God, are you saying I'm an average mentally person?
no, I said there's no apparent link between the news story and what I'm about to talk about now, but I just thought it was an interesting time to bring it up because we were sitting down at the airport and I was trying to chat to you and your eyes just kept glancing off to the side. It was like you were a spy that thought you were about to have your cover blown and you just couldn't look at me for more than, I reckon, 2 seconds. And finally, I just said, what are you looking at? And he said, I'm looking at the flights on the board because it says go to gate. Should we go to gate? And I said, no, we'll just wait till it says boarding and then we'll go board.
No, that you said they'll call it.
Well, they will.
And I said sometimes
They're
they
both
don't
true.
call it, and I didn't want to miss it. And so I was waiting for it to say board. And then when it said boarding, I said, should we go? And you said, no, they'll call it. And so you kept gaslighting me.
I didn't gaslight you at all because you said sometimes they don't call it, and I said no, they do. They don't just call every second flight.
No,
they tell you when the flight is boarding.
Some airports you go to, they don't call flights, and sometimes they do call flights.
And you thought we were just at a not call flights
I didn't
airport?
know, but I didn't want to miss because we had all these connecting flights. I didn't want to miss
You
it.
are the same woman who has said to me on our last trip, you said, oh, Tommy, can you just go hold the plane? I'm going to pee.
Just tell him I'm being.
Yeah, tell him
I've
I'm peeing.
aged a lot. The other thing I did notice as I was coming to meet you at the airport was that I had packed way too much for carry-on.
Yeah, you
I
made-
was that person that was wearing 5 jackets and 10 hats just to walk through, just so that I didn't have to put it in my bag.
You made me carry your jumper.
I did make you carry my jumper because you didn't have anything.
No, because we're at Hayman Island. You don't need any of it. It's warm and beautiful and fine. And then the next flight we caught, you insisted that we don't need to leave our hotel to get there.
Well, the
until
driver
late.
was booked too early, and I was like, guys, let's just wing it.
Wait, you've gone from shall we go to gate every 5 seconds to it's too early.
Yeah, but then when we got there, you panicked that we were too late, and you're like, it already says go to gate. Let's run through the airport. And I said,
God.
go to gate's not boarding. I said, we can just go in and get a coffee.
So
And he
what
said,
does
"Can
go
we?"
to gate mean? It means go to the gate.
It does, but you can just wait till it says boarding because it can say go to gate for hours.
And then you could even wait till last call.
But
as
why
well.
would it say go to the gate for hours? It doesn't want you then hours before, does it?
No.
So why don't we just follow the instructions? When it says go to gate, go to gate. When it says board, board.
Just wait, because for people who are older who need a bit more time,
For me,
I'm saying you've slipped into
I'm
the
a
category
mentally
average mentally person who doesn't realise you're very able-bodied. Can you just take you to a gate all the time? And then finally, when it would say boarding, I go, okay, let's go to the gate, and you'd be like, which gate? What gate? And I'm like, how are you so ahead of
Then I
time?
couldn't find the boarding. I like an old school boarding pass, and now that it's in your digital wallet, I didn't. Do you know what? For so long, I didn't know all the things that were in my digital wallet. There's like your Medicare card. There's like any card
You've
got.
started a list and you've got nothing to add to the list.
Still don't know what's in my wallet.
No, did you know all the stuff that can be in your digital wallet?
Yeah.
I thought it was just your flight stuff. Sorry, I thought it was just your credit card. And then I discovered it was your flight stuff. But then if you don't delete the other trips that you've had, right, then it's hard to work out which is today's trip versus which is the last trip
No,
you took.
it's just the one that comes up first.
Anyway, I'm an average mentally person.
Well,
Yes.
this is what I wanted to chat about because they're your
I'm
words.
just getting dottier.
Yes, you
I
are.
noticed I was driving with two hands slowly the other day, and I thought I've become my mother.
You know what a sign is that you're getting a bit dottier? You're using phrases like, I've become a bit dottier. 13 10 60. I'd love to chat to people. When do you realise you've had moments where you're an average mentally person? Because we've always celebrated everyone on this show.
It means an average mentally person. He just means a not smart person.
I think I'm trying to do How Dumb Are You, but just give it a modern bent.
Okay, give it a Trump bend.
Yes. When have you realised you're an average mentally person? Give us a call, 13 10 60.
Carrie and Tommy.
Around Australia, if you drive home this Savo, it is Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little, and we are live from Paradise on Hayman Island, guys.
Yes, and I'm here with an average mentally person.
I don't know what that is, but I am that.
Donald Trump said it recently to describe the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, and I'm travelling with our dearest friend Carrie here. I realised the amount of questions to get on a plane at the airport
I asked
are
a lot
now
of
overwhelming.
questions. I was obsessed with the board as to whether we were going to gate, whether we were boarding, whether
Like
it was
you'd never
last
caught a
call.
flight
I know.
before.
I
What does
catch
go to
lots of
gate
flights.
mean?
No, well, I think it means go to gate, but you think it means just sit on your butt.
Yeah, and wait till it's boarding.
Yeah, well, I feel like you're the
Because
average
I'm-
mentally person.
He's an average
actually-
mentally person.
It's actually a great phrase.
G'day, Beth.
Oh, hey, how you going?
Yeah, good. Are you an average mentally person?
Most definitely am.
What
we
happened?
We were driving out to Dubbo over the weekend and drove past a solar farm, and I was talking to my husband and said that why are they so popular when the sun's just going to get dimmer and dimmer?
The sun's going to get
I don't
dimmer
understand.
and
I'm an
dimmer.
average mentally person. What does any of what you just said mean? Why is the solar...
There's a solar farm, and obviously,
Yeah.
the solar farm, the sun is.
Did you think-
the sun runs the solar
Did you
farm, and
think-
I thought the sun was going to get dimmer, and then.
Like as they were harvesting sunlight, there wouldn't be enough
It'd
left.
Suck it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real dumb, Beth.
No, it's average mentally.
That's so good. It reminds me of one of my friends who was chatting because his mates were a wind farm, and he goes,
Oh,
"Is
my
that how it's all made?" He thought that the
wind was made
windmills
from
were
there.
pushing the wind around
They
the
were
earth.
cooling the earth down. Yeah.
Thank you, Beth.
What
Who you
about
got?
Jordan? Hey, Jordan.
How are you?
Are you an average mentally person like me?
Oh, a little bit.
What happened?
I was supposed to be heading to Bali at 2 o'clock and I forgot my boarding passes at home.
Your
Your
boarding
passport,
pass.
do you think?
Yeah, I don't have none of that digital wallet stuff.
But you just go to the counter and get another one.
No, I think you mean his passport.
Don't think
Did-
no, I don't think that's possible.
Did you mean your passport?
Yeah, my passport. Yeah, I've got the boarding pass, but my actual passport.
Oh
But
my
I don't
god!
have it, so I can't go.
Oh well, come to Hayman Island. It's better.
I wish.
No, you can. Okay.
Okay, so
Good. Hey,
that was,
you know, I meant to-
Your
that was
peers.
the definition of what we've asked for.
I know. I can't be angry at him because it's like bang
He's
on.
an average mentally
it's
person,
bang on,
yes.
brief.
So can I just say something? When we were talking to him before we went to this break, I said, Jordan, can you count to 3 for me just to test the phone lines? And he just goes, 3.
I mean, it's a good shortcut. He got there
Why
quicker.
waste time?
He got there quicker.
Well, let's
than
try
most.
Victoria. Hey, Victoria.
Hi guys, how are ya?
Yeah, good. Are you like me and Jordan? Are you a mentally average person?
Oh, I've definitely got some clangers under my belt. But one of my favourite stories to tell is this one time I was staying in a resort, and we were there for longer than a week. And one of my friends caught me watering plastic plants for over 3 days.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
sweet.
it's so lovely. Also, if you're in a resort, wouldn't they be maintaining that for you?
Oh, look, I don't know what I was doing. I was just getting into my vibe and
Sorry,
just
Carrie,
being
also-
me. And
We need to
But-
water
but
all
also-
these plants
but
here at
also,
Hayman.
sorry,
There's a lot
Carrie,
of them.
Wait, I think you've missed a key part of this. The people at the resort wouldn't have been watering the plants because they were plastic. And so Victoria would have spent 3 days and gone, no one is watering these things. They're going to die if I don't take over.
Carrie and Tommy.
Carrie and Tommy driving you home from Hayman Island this week, and coming up after 4 o'clock, we have been exploring a bit of the island and what is on offer here.
It's so beautiful, but right now, this
I mean,
is an
there's
absolute...
nothing worse than when you buy a gorgeous new outfit to wear on holiday, you put it online, and some of the ways it's described, a monstrosity. The next one, it's an abomination. The other one, don't know what that is, but it should be burnt immediately.
But also, what a stitch up, because so it's web guy Eli.
Yeah.
He told us, guys, I'm bringing a bucket hat to Hayman Island,
So
and
he
we
doesn't
thought that's
really
a wonderful
tropical holiday often.
Yeah,
So he bought a rashie.
and I said, a bucket hat is a great
Great
thing to
idea.
bring.
He was so
to
cute
Hayman Island.
about it.
And so then when I rocked up and he's wearing a beanie, I was
Yeah.
confused,
A beanie with the strings down the side.
like fake dreadlocks.
Like fake
Yes.
dreadlocks. And
Which-
we were like, oh, your beanie's cute. And he goes, my bucket hat. And we were like, no, that's a
That's
beanie,
that's
man.
A beanie. It's a
and
beanie.
he's like, it's a bucket
But then
hat.
we thought we'd put it online and let the people judge. And instead of web guy Eli, he took a photo with me wearing it. I was fine with that. But instead of him saying, this is web guy Eli's beanie/bucket hat,
Yeah.
what do you think it is? So we can settle the debate. He just posted a picture of me wearing
And
it.
it's the worst
And then
photo.
all it said is, we've made it to Hayman and we're already arguing, is this a bucket hat or a beanie?
Did you ask web guy Eli to bring that for you? Is that what happened? Is that your little beanie there?
I mean, I like it, so I would happily
you
wear it.
shouldn't. That looks terrible.
Oh, web
What?
guy Eli, you told me it looked good on me.
It doesn't. It looks
I
good on
think you
web
look
guy
great.
Eli.
AJ said you looked cute too. I read the comments.
Thank you, AJ.
That's the only person that thought it was good. But you have to understand now, web guy Eli, now that we've joked about it, you can see that's a beanie. yeah?
No.
Why do you insist?
It's made of
What-
beanie
yeah,
fabric.
material. Why do you
Material. It's
insist?
crocheted.
It's a bucket hat. It's got no brim on it to protect you from any sun anywhere.
Yes, it does, and it's
Where?
also it's not made of wool. It's made of
crocheted.
It's crocheted bandana.
It's
not bandana.
But even crochet bandana. Doesn't that
Bandana.
make it a bandana then?
No, it's a bucket hat.
But bucket hats don't come with a
Like,
string on the side.
It's just not a bucket hat.
If you had straw and you wove it into a beanie, you'd call it a beanie. You wouldn't
No,
say
you
it's a
wouldn't.
straw
You-
hat.
Say it's a
You'd never
straw
have a
beanie.
straw beanie.
But also, you know Fisher, the DJ.
Yeah.
You know what he wears?
He wears
what
bucket
are they?
hats.
Okay, Gary's answered for you.
That you can see that Fisher's ones are bucket hats, can't you?
Yes, these are the same.
They're
know,
not the
just-
same.
What's wrong with your eyes?
Do you want to know the description from
Yes.
the website I bought it from?
It says a simple soft cloth hat with a brim. That doesn't have a brim.
This
Then
has
what's
no
that
brim.
flappy bit? It's folded up.
Yes, it's a beanie.
It's what happens
bit.
you wear for a beanie.
No, what?
You know
A
how
brim has
Carrie's
to
beanie-
come out.
You
'cause
can't do that with a
If
beanie.
only we knew
Oh
someone.
my God,
If
all my
only-
beanies that I make every year have that folded up
But
bit in
also,
it.
if only we knew someone who
Donkey.
had made beanies for years and sold
That is
hundreds of
so
thousands
true.
of
Can
them.
I have the deciding word?
Oh,
here?
are you going to
That
start
is
making bucket hats?
a beanie? No.
Oh my God, has it been Carrie's bucket hats for brain cancer this whole time? I think, how many people do you need to hear from? Because I looked at the results of the
know.
poll. You put a poll up, it's 94% to 6%.
Oh,
and
like
that's
a 6%.
That's you and your burner accounts.
What does it say on the website you bought it from?
So it's a beach break bucket hat.
It's just not.
Yes,
Show me.
the beach break bucket hat from Alanui is distinguished by its hand-braided bandana laces finished with bead detailing. The slouchy style was made from pure cotton.
How much did that cost you?
I got it on sale.
For how much? How
It was
much?
670,
Is that oh my God! Stop
but
that! Stop that!
I got it for 201.
That thing there that you're wearing that I could have got from a local market on a Sunday morning
Are you joking?
was $600.
You have been undercharging for your beanies for so many years.
My
They're bucket
God.
hats.
bucket hats.
Oh my God.
Eli.
Eli, that's not a good use of your money.
I didn't know
honey.
I needed to be sun smart.
I could have got your bucket hat cheap. Oh my God.
13 10 60.
Oh my
I think
God.
we just need help to call up and abuse Eli.
No.
And let him know.
Not
Let him know that that's a
$600
beanie.
for that knitted thing.
But also
I
it's a
couldn't make
beanie.
that.
Also, it's a beanie. We just need to be clear.
This
it's
is
a beanie.
outrageous.
It's just not.
How many
It
people do you
is.
need to hear from to let you know that's a beanie?
At least 600 in the next minute.
Oh my God, go to Carrie and Tommy's show, have a look at it. I mean, you don't even need to. You can hear that we're talking about a beanie. It costs $600.
I'm interested if anyone has listened and thinks this is a bucket hat or thinks that is a good way to spend your money. $600 on a beanie.
I didn't spend that much.
You spent $300.
Nah, 201.
Oh my
Dollar.
God.
Too much.
13 10 60. Call us now.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
Live from Hayman Island in
bucket
paradise.
hat and
The
a
perfect place to bring a bucket hat is Carrie and Tommy.
Yeah, but web guy Eli didn't bring a bucket hat. He bought a beanie.
He spent $200 on a reduced from $600 bucket hat that is actually just a beanie you would buy at a local market on a Sunday morning.
A lot of people,
Betty made that.
A lot of people are commenting, and I've just found out Eli has been hiding a lot of the more disparaging comments under the post.
Someone called it, Kamor called it a doily, and that got hidden.
Let's start censoring our Instagram account because you're offended by your doily that
You
you bought.
also made it look like it's mine, which I only got brought to my attention recently. G'day, Amy.
Hello, how's it going?
Yeah, I mean, confused. What do you think it is, a beanie or a bucket hat?
I think it's a glorified beanie with weird dangly bits.
Yeah.
It is. And what do you think? You've heard the price tag. Do you have anything to say to Eli about it?
I think that's ridiculous. I don't knit or crochet or anything, but I could make that.
Oh, we all could.
All right,
Honestly.
send one in.
He'll be sure to get it on Tommy's head again. Good on you,
good.
Amy. What about Charlie? Settle it for us, Charlie. Beanie or bucket hat?
It's definitely a beanie. We've got these down in Lavington. It's definitely a beanie.
Yeah, Eli.
I disagree.
Okay, and Charlie, you've heard it. You've heard the price tag. Any messages for Eli?
It's absolutely ridiculous, mate. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you spending your $200 on?
Definitely not a beanie.
No. No,
Okay, let's narrow
I
it
agree.
down.
Izzy's called to say that Eli has more money than sense.
Not true.
Well, he's got a lot less sense now that he's.
Well,
spent all-
Benjamin said it's whatever you needed to be to pay for that price tag. So thank you, Benjamin.
That was one of your burner accounts, wasn't it?
Kelly. Hey, Kel.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Have you seen the pic on Instagram, on our Insta, of Tommy in what is Eli's bucket hat / beanie?
I have.
And what are your thoughts?
Why is it even a question if it's a
It's
beanie
a
or a bucket hat?
Bucket
Yes.
hat. Yeah, exactly.
It's a beanie. Eli, we haven't had one person yet say that it's a bucket hat.
We have
Who?
Who?
B105.
One of our stations. You logged into their account and
You are.
commented.
Just accept you bought a beanie. Hey, at
what
least
did-
you've got 3 months
what
to
did-
wear it in the winter months.
What
It'll be perfect.
What did you write from B105's account?
Bucket hat !
So be honest with me. So there's been a poll. So 94% said beanie, 6% said bucket hat. How many of those votes were you?
I put in 6.
Can we take the final word from Jax? We've heard from adults. Let's hear from a child, because children would speak the truth.
Absolutely. G'day.
Jax, are you there?
It's not a bucket hat or a beanie. It is something that you'd wrap a wallaby in, or
It's-
something you put on my nan's head.
Yes. Or what about a teapot, Jax? You know how old people often have those tea
Oh my
cozies.
God, yes, a tea
Do you reckon
cozy.
that's what it could be?
Maybe, probably.
And you've just heard, Jax, that Eli spent over $200 on this. Do you think that's a good way of an adult spending their money?
No, not at all.
What would you have spent $200 on?
I'd be saving it.
You'd be saving it. There you go. Have you got anything you would like to say directly to Eli? He's here.
Spend $200 on something else.
Great.
I'll be honest, I thought that was going to be a more emphatic out than it was.
Carrie and Tommy.
We are live from Hayman Island, guys, in paradise.
Yes.
We hit the ground running when we got here.
Didn't we, Bickers?
Because one of the great things about Hayman is there's so many activities to do. And when the producers were pitching, which activities should we do? I said, let's do all of them in one game. And I did not expect things to pan out the way they panned out.
Well, you say we hit the ground running. You hit the ground cheating.
No. Okay. So I think you cheated. You think I cheated.
How?
Because you dug up my area. Okay,
Hang
so
on,
let's bring everybody in. So we did an obstacle course,
Yeah.
and the producers had an idea that they were going to rig all of the moments.
Did they
for
have
you.
that idea?
They did have that idea.
Do you have any thoughts of your own on this show?
No, never. And so we did a buggy ride. They were going to make sure you didn't have keys. Then they were going to do, I think we had to dig up stuff from the sand. All of my stuff was going to be in one area. Yours wasn't going to be there.
So you seem to know a lot about this for someone who had nothing to do with it.
And then they were going to do a bit where we had to carry drinks on a tray. Only you had like wine glasses and I had tumblers. And then we were going to do a bit in a kayak and you didn't have a paddle.
You organised all this.
I didn't organise it, they did. But then from like early in, you then just started cheating. And you took my bits from the sand.
She's so disappointed that she was planning on cheating, and then you cheated too. That's not okay.
You have an angel face, and you lie through it so well.
No, it's just that you were going to be faster at me, so we had to have some kind of handicap.
The obstacle course was your idea.
I know.
Anyway, find out how it went next.
Carrie and Tommy.
Around Australia for your drive home, it is Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little. We are live from Hayman Island today.
It is so beautiful here.
Stunning.
It's stunning. And almost nothing can take away from the natural beauty, how wonderful the people are, except for Bickmore organising events and then just rigging them beyond belief.
We did an obstacle course, which was so fun. I felt like I was on It's a Knockout. Do you remember that show?
Yes.
And part of the rigging of it wasn't my doing. It was the producers.
She's just
we had to
openly
do
talking about
a
it.
buggy ride to start with, and they were going to make sure you didn't have
Don't
keys.
list all
Then
the
we were
activities again.
No, I'm just so that people
They're
know
just
what they're
about
about
to
to
hear
listen
them.
to. Okay, so we started off with a buggy ride, and you didn't have keys.
We're here for our obstacle course, which starts with the golf buggy. And Carrie, what did you just say
I don't think I've ever driven a golf buggy before.
This is good.
We're off to a flyer.
I was known as the king of orienteering in high school, so this is built for me.
I was good at orienteering.
Oh, I never actually did it. Loser.
Oh my God, I loved it. They gave us our little clock watch. What are the things called?
I don't know. I just told you I didn't do
And
it.
then we had to go through the bush.
A stopwatch?
No, like a little
compass?
thing. A compass.
You must have been good at it.
I was the king, I tell you, the king. So I'm the one that suggested this idea because there's so many fun things to do at Hayman.
Yes.
And we're very competitive. So I thought, let's turn those fun things into a competition. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Quick question before we start. Have you just smoked a whole pack of Winnie Reds? Because you sound like you...
Do I?
Because of that.
Oh.
Why?
I don't know what's happened to my voice. Anyway, no, I don't need my voice for this. I just need my orienteering skills. Let's do it.
We've got a bunch of different obstacles. The first obstacle is to drive one of the golf buggies down to the other obstacle. Are
Down
you
to the
ready?
beach?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, we're in the golf buggy. Carrie's
I don't have a key.
How do I start
in her
it?
seat.
I don't have a key.
It's on. Just yeah, Carrie.
I'm off.
Where's
Tommy
my
doesn't
key?
have a key.
I'm
He's
off.
looking for his key.
I'm off.
Carrie's off.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay,
She's
hold on.
getting around the corner.
What's happened to him?
Tommy's chasing us on foot.
Mine doesn't have a key.
Carrie's driving off.
Shivers. Hold on. He's catching.
Oh, Tommy's actually running faster than the car can go.
Oh, no.
He's going to catch us.
Whose idea was this? What?
Carrie.
Don't hurt yourself.
Okay, so that's
Oh my
worked out
God.
well for Tommy. He's just jumped on the back of Carrie's.
Just down to the beach, please.
How has this worked out this way?
I don't know. I don't have a key.
Okay,
I
so
don't know
my
if you
plan
could-
to not give you a key meant I just gave you a ride.
You say you just said your plan to not give me a key.
Sorry, the producer's plan.
So I don't know if you heard from the audio there, but I didn't have a key.
So up next we get down to the sand and we've now got to dig for treasure.
Producer Zoe is going to give you a list of items that you are digging for. Your area to dig is over here.
Where?
Carrie's area to dig is here. Tommy, you are digging in this triangle here. You've each got a list of items you got to try and find within that triangle. So start digging.
I got a glass.
Okay, I got a
You
glass.
can tell because they're
What are you looking for? What are your
I'm looking
items?
for a cocktail glass, a lemon, olives and mini vodka.
I got olive. I got 2 olives.
Oh, I got a bottle of vodka. I got a lemon.
No.
Oh, Tommy's just run over and stolen some of Carrie's. I've got him! Now Tommy's got all his items because he's stolen Carrie's.
Has he stolen mine?
Yeah.
Well, then that.
Oh no!
You cheated. You stole mine. So the whole idea was your stuff wasn't even meant to be there. You were going to be
No, it
digging for
wasn't.
hours to not find it.
I could tell because there was no mounds in the sand.
And then you just came around and stole mine.
Yeah, and you didn't even notice because you had your head buried in the sand like an emu. To which point Jesse started panicking because the rigging wasn't going to plan.
I was like, the boss is not going to be happy with this when she stops digging.
When she pulls her head out of that bunker, she's going to be mighty unhappy, Sir Queen Rigger.
Then we had to do like an egg and spoon race, but with cocktails instead.
And now your next obstacle is to take those drinks, walk them down to the beach. No! Oh, without spilling any. And Tommy has just tipped the whole tray over.
What happened?
Carrie has not spilled a drop. You have to take a 15-second break.
Where am I taking it to?
Tommy has just run over and pushed her over.
No!
The great thing about Carrie is if you knock drinks out of her hand, she turns into a seagull. My drink. My drinks.
More of our obstacle course up next. Up next, we get wet.
We do.
Carrie and Tommy.
Driving you home for your Monday afternoon, it is Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little. We are live from Hayman Island, and if you're just joining us, we're in the middle of our obstacle course.
Yeah, which Carrie rigged to Heaven's End.
Did you know it was going to be rigged before we even started? Like, did you think...
No, I expected better of my co-host.
No, it wasn't me that thought we would rig it.
You
The
literally
producers thought
said-
it would be funny.
You literally said, I've hidden the keys.
My plan, I think, was her words.
Anyway, you turned the whole obstacle course on its head when you started cheating. And you stole all my bits from the scavenger hunt. So then I was on the back foot. And as we head into the water, the next bit you're going to hear is we're meant to canoe around a boy, Sammy Boy, our producer. And then the very
That was a
end-
week's worth of meetings to work out, should it be Sammy Boy in the water or just an actual boy?
But
And I bet you it came down to resources. I bet we couldn't get an actual boy.
And then they decided that they wouldn't give you...
Yeah, the cracks are showing.
They wouldn't
because-
give you any handles. What are they called?
Paddles.
Hey guys, I've got an idea.
Don't give
Let's
him a
not
handle
give
for his-
Tommy handles
for his canoe.
Like, okay, I don't know how that'll slow him down. Shut up, no handles.
Anyway, this is us when we start the canoe bit.
Your next obstacle...
Where am I going next?
is to get in a kayak and then paddle out around that boy. Okay. Producer Sammy Boy.
What? No! No, he's coming! He's coming! He's coming! He's coming!
She's got her canoe down by the water's edge. Tommy's canoe is still up on the beach.
I don't have a paddle. That's the life jacket.
Okay, Tommy's got to run back and put his life jacket on and get his canoe, but he can't find his paddle. Carrie has got in her canoe backwards and is now trying to get into the water.
How do I get out there? How do I get out there? No! Hold on! Oh!
Carrie is now paddling into shore as though she's gone around the boy, but she hasn't.
At that stage, I was actually swimming in the water.
You just decided to forego the kayak and swim.
Yes.
It was way quicker.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
the tide was coming in, so I was battling against it.
Yes.
So where?
He's coming! He's coming!
I know.
Do you reckon he's coming? I think
Why
he's
don't you
coming.
isolate that guy? Don't use that against me at any point in the future.
There's a fun little game. I mean, for Carrie's neighbours whenever they go away. But there's also a fun little game you can play while listening to this. And I've seen it before in Jesse, our wonderful button monkey on this show. Whenever there's a challenge that physically is a bit exerting, he gets more and more puffed and frantic in his commentary. And see if you can pick the moment that you're about to hear when he hits maximum heartbeats per minute and it starts to sound a bit like he's going to conk out. Here is the finale of our obstacle course.
Your next obstacle is to fill up that bowl with water using the bucket in your hand. So run down to the water's edge, get a bucket full of water, and carry it back up to the bowl. The first person to fill the bowl up wins.
Thank you, lady. No! My bucket has holes in it!
Carrie's filled her bucket up but then thrown it at Tommy, so now she has to fill her bucket up again. They're both neck and neck at the water's edge.
My bucket has holes!
Shit, this is too much running, guys.
My bucket has holes.
Carrie's just thrown hers all over him again.
My balls are out. My balls are out. I won. That's how you win. Your balls are out. I never thought I'd win getting my balls out, guys, but I did. How did we ever run the Big 5 marathon? That was too much running.
Can we go to speak to our boy in the water?
Yeah.
And see at what point Carrie went around the boy?
You stole my drinks. You didn't find your own bits for the cocktail.
You didn't make it out to Sammy Boy.
Oh, yeah, I did.
No, I didn't see you,
You
out
must
there.
have missed me.
Nah.
Nah, out, pop round, back in. It's
I
pretty
reckon
easy.
it might be an automatic disqualification.
No, why he stole my bits?
You stole your bits.
He stole my mate.
Sorry, what?
He stole my cocktail bits. Anyway, the whole point of the whole thing was at the end of the day we had to get the balls out of the water, and I did. So, high five to Carrie, everybody.
Carrie doesn't wait for a high five.
Good game. Good game.
Oh, but also, are you going to challenge her win?
Should we make the rest of our time on the island easy and say, well done, Carrie?
Yeah, absolutely.
A fair and easy win. What a start. He's come. Carrie's balls are out. Jesse's had a heart attack and we've only been here an hour.
Can we get one of the producers to clip up all of our repetitive phrases into one little bit?
Well,
Let's
clearly.
see what it sounds like. We'll play that up next.
Because you're not going to do it yourself, sure.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
Carrie and Tommy driving you home this afternoon. We are live from Hayman Island, and you too can escape to paradise and indulge in the ultimate private island retreat with Intercontinental Hayman Great Barrier Reef's limited time anniversary offer from $525 per night. Conditions apply.
Coming up, the controversial cover star of Vogue magazine
Yes.
that has the world divided. But right now,
Well, because the sounds of nature here at Hayman Island are something to behold. Like, it's so beautiful. You are in the middle of the most serene bit of
there's
wildlife in
little
the
rock
country.
wallabies everywhere.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Oh, they're so cute.
And haven't the guests noticed some new sounds of the wildlife since we've arrived? Because this was just from our first half an hour on the island.
No! I got a bottle of vodka.
No!
I got him! No! No! Where am I going next? How do I get out there? No! He's coming! He's coming! He's coming! Oh, my balls are out! My balls are out!
If you are wondering where that's from, download the podcast because that was the last half hour of the show.
that was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, too.
Wasn't it? You can never start too early.
Carrie and Tommy.
Around Australia for your drive home, it's Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little. We are live from Hayman Island. It's time for this.
It's time for Bickmore's Bits.
Here we go now.
Specifically, my Glastonbury bits, which
Did you
after
go?
4 days of going were starting to get a bit hectic.
Festival bits.
Festival bits. I desperately want to go to Glastonbury at some point, and I will get there. And I wish I'd been there this year because some beautiful moments happened, particularly around Lewis Capaldi. So
Yes.
in 2023, I don't know if you remember, he was up on stage, and it was the height of him being experiencing the terrible side effects of his Tourette syndrome. He was having lots of tics. He was having trouble speaking, and he was midway through his set when he actually had to ask the crowd to sing for him because he could no longer sing. This was in 2023. It was a beautiful moment. It was an incredibly emotional moment, but it was the start of a really tough 2 years for Lewis Capaldi. He had to cancel his tours, his concerts, everything because he just went into such a bad place.
It's such a sign of how loved he is. Like, imagine if you're not adored like that and you have a similar thing happen to you and you go, crowd, take over. There's a lot of people who are just like, we'd love to, but we don't know the words.
Also, thank God it was on one of his common songs that everyone knows. Imagine saying you have to take over and it's like a side B, number 4 on this, and everyone's like, I don't know, mate.
Side B.
A B-side?
A B-side. It's a side B number.
It's so vulnerable though when you see him on stage because his body has taken over and you can see him ticking and you can see him struggling, and it's so hard to watch, let alone for him to go through. But he's come back on stage 2025, 2 years on. He got up there and he spoke to the crowd and said he was quite emotional being there and that he was going to need us, the crowd, to help us. I wasn't there, but need the crowd to help him this time because he was going to be overcome with emotion for a good reason.
Couldn't sing this song 2 years ago for a different reason. I think I might struggle to sing it this time for another reason, but this time it's a good reason. So if you'll join me in singing this, my name's Luke Capaldi, and I'm back, baby. Here we go.
His set included his new single Survive, which was released on Friday, which details his mental health challenges over the last few years. And then, as expected, the crowd got involved. It was beautiful. It was a moment to remember. Also, Capaldi wasn't the only surprise on Friday. Lorde, so apparently with the festival, most of the stuff happens at the end of the day, most of the good stuff. But
the singer.
Yes.
Sorry.
Not the Lorde.
I just saw you were like, it wasn't the only thing to happen. Lord, like you were just excited.
Like, Lord, it was a good day.
Lordy, you won't believe what else happened.
Lorde rewarded early risers over on the Woodsies stage. So she came up at 11 a.m, which is a lot earlier than most people get to Glastonbury for the day. And she did her entire new album. The crowd started to come as they realised she was there performing, so much so that organisers had to close access to the surrounding fields. And
they shut Woodsy.
They shut the fields around Woodsy. If you've ever, and I was new to this, for some people that know what Glastonbury is, you'll be rolling your eyes, but I didn't realise until a few years ago when I sort of stumbled across how big it was when you see the aerial shots of Glastonbury. Yes. It is enormous. It covers like full suburbs, like it's huge. So one of the whole field areas they had to shut down because the crowds had come to see Lorde. Harry Styles was there at Glastonbury on the weekend. He was seen passionately snogging a mystery woman in the VIP area.
That's a bit of fun.
Yep. Although I'm not going to look. I had a look at the footage of him. That's not a passionate snog. That's how it's been described. It wasn't passionate enough for me, if I'm honest.
Oh.
If I was going to be kissed by Harry Styles, I'd want it more passionate than that, what was happening there.
Also, to be brutal if they were like mystery woman and she's actually famous for something.
Yeah.
It's hard to see because the vision is very foggy. It's hard to get a good eye. I did look closely. Margot Robbie was there. Gracie Abrams was there. She was spotted in the crowd with her boyfriend Paul Mescal. I didn't realise they were together. Olivia Rodrigo was there. She was on the shoulders of her boyfriend Louis Partridge. Funny names, aren't they? Paul Mescal, Louis Partridge.
Yes. Bickers, do you want to know about Maddie Healy?
Who's Maddie Healy again?
Taylor Swift's ex. And singer of the 1975.
That's right, the band.
He had, yes. Lordy, lordy, lordy. The band.
The old side B of 1975.
He had a few words to say that a lot of people think are a subtle dig at Tay-Tay. Do you want to hear them?
Yes,
and then
I
you
would
can
like
break
to.
down why you think it's a dig at Tay-Tay.
What this moment's made me realise is that I probably am the best. I'm probably the best songwriter of my generation. The best, what do we say, a poet, ladies and gentlemen, is what I am. Generational wordsmith. And I just wanted to remind you, in the next couple of minutes, these lyrics, this poetry, I bleed for you. All right? Just take that all right? Take it away, boys.
They were all references to Taylor Swift, the poet, because her album was the
Tortured Poets Department. Well done, Pickers.
Yes, and then she's been described as the greatest songwriter of her generation.
And then after he played his song, he came out.
Isn't that from one of her songs?
Probably. You know her better than I. And then he came out after the song and just said he was only joking about being a poet, just in case people took it out of context and went, he's a wanker.
No, we have taken it, though, for what he was actually meaning it, I think, which was a go at Taylor Swift. I think we've taken it perfectly in context, haven't we?
Well done, Gary.
Yes.
Carrie and Tommy.
You get to that point in life as a mum where when you're at a concert and there's some dangerous tricks happening, the first thing you think of is, what if something broke and that went wrong?
Do you mean a la Pink doing somersaults
That's exactly
through
right.
the air?
You know, when she had her accident, when she was flying.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and then she literally crashed to the ground. I think did something to her ribs, or anyway, it was very, very bad.
Well, there's been a bit going on recently. Katy Perry was riding a dragon or something.
I was watching Katy Perry riding. This is when I had the thought. I thought, what happened if that dragon snapped and she fell to the ground? Well, that has happened, but not for Katy. For Beyonce, she has been rescued after a technical fail left her stranded high in the air near the end of her concert in Texas. She was soaring above the crowd in a red Cadillac while performing her song 16 Carriages, but suddenly I think one of the wires holding up one corner of the car must have snapped or something, and suddenly the car was on its side rather than flat.
Oh,
this
God.
is her asking them to stop. The car was in the air for about a minute.
Can someone get her down? That was the most Texan thing. Holy
Hey, y'all.
smokes.
One of them wires done broke.
Hey, Beyonce's nearly be dead, say. Can someone get her down?
Dead, say.
Anyway, she hung up there for about an hour, a minute.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Follow Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little on socials at Carrie Tommy Show.
Bye.
Bye. Gary and Tommy are signing off. But if you're ready to kick off your next big idea, it helps to think a little differently. Liberty Loans hit different. They're free thinking, just like you. Find flexible loans at liberty.com.au. Eligibility criteria apply.
Tommy has just run over and pushed her over. Ow!
The great thing about Carrie is if you knock drinks out of her hand, she turns into a seagull. My drink. My drinks.